The Miku video did really well, and people like Teto, so we're doing Teto now. I'm re-recording this, and I want to kill myself. But this is like my shopping list, and it says purchased already 2 times because I had to redo a shell. So this gives me all of the transparent red pieces. It's an extreme rate shell, and it is pretty good. You know, for the price, it's pretty good. It gives me a bunch of leftover pieces as well. I'll use those in the future for something. This is some screens. I purchased 2 of them because I needed to work on 2 different DSs. One of them was broken, but the one in the Teto DS is good. This is a Super Famicom controller themed DS Lite shell, and they have a lot of like game ones, and what I was doing was I was looking for some that have like certain prints on them, like you see that, something that would fit the Teto shell. And then I saw this one. It is pretty good. It is just a gray shell piece with, you know, circular lines on it. And sure, it's the Super Famicom controller, but it matches Teto V2. It matches the Teto V2 like skirt dress design really well. It matches the swoops of this like skirt, and you know, the jacket and the sleeves and everything, like the black lines. It matches pretty well. And I'm going to use the gray from the interior on the Teto DS. It'll look pretty good. I needed these yellow screw covers for, you know, screws of the DS on the inner shell, and I needed the yellow ones because it would seem like Teto's buttons on her jacket, you know. And then this is red screen lens and red screen lens border. That's not an official Nintendo part, I don't think. So I had to order some, which is perfectly fine. Those are probably going to take the longest to get here. And it's ironic because they're the cheapest. Oh well. But I don't have anything to do in the meantime. We doing cards now.
God damn it! Ah!
Does anyone need a poster? I already have this one. These are the promo cards. We will hold on to those. We've got 3 tries. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we do. Okay. Code card. Energy. And I'm gonna guess that it is grass, because that's my favorite. It was fire. We're not going to get any hits.
Coffin, Psyduck, Ekans, Cubone, I like that art, Persian, Muck, Daisy's Help, Clefairy, Rapidash,
and Articuno Hollow. Okay, nothing good. Kind of trash. Code card. 1 to the back. I'm going to guess Psychic. It was fire again, but it was a hollow fire, which is cool.
Staryu, Charmander, Spearow, Bellsprout, Tentacruel, Snorlax, Sandslash, Raticate, Golbat.
Ooh, pulled weirdly. Chansey. Okay. Okay, last pack. See what we got. Code card. And I'm gonna guess it is water. Electricity, alright. Well.
Bulbasaur, Victini, Growlithe, Geodude, Kadabra, Ivysaur, Slowbro, Metapod Hollow.
Golden Switch Trainer. Okay. And then a Beedrill Hollow. That's a good hit, actually. I have all my 151 hits sitting right here, actually. So, not bad so far. Alrighty then. Now I just gotta do that a bunch more until the part arrives. Which means I'm probably going to go in debt.
I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan!
You know what we can go ahead and do? We can go ahead and put this barcode onto the back shell. I just have to line it up good. It's not that bad. It's not the worst I've ever done. It's not bad. That is actually pretty clean, I would say. Wonderful. Now we have a back shell, and it is good. Okay, so most of my parts came in. This is what we have so far. It's not bad. I'm using the DS logo from this shell as the zeros for the 0401. And then to even it out, because otherwise it'd be off-centered, I put one of her tufts of hair. Everything that is white will still be red, and all of the random red will be black. That is to mimic the first design, and it is pretty cool. And then, when you open it, it'll be the second design. I was doing some testing, seeing like what kind of designs I could make with tape and then paint over and then peel the tape off. I was doing masking. I made bread and then I did a battery cover of a worse piece of bread. I don't think we will be doing that. Those are just kind of fun. We've still got these two work in progress shells, which are just kind of like temporary pieces, which I don't think I'll use unless I absolutely have to. Who knows? Might give them away. That'd be cool. I could do that. I did throw all of these pieces into here. Not bad. These are just in here because they're easy things to just go ahead and build that I don't have to wait until I'm done building the rest of the DS to do. And so all that's just been sitting there. We've got these, which is pretty good so far, you know. I messed up the paint on this one. I have to wait for another transparent red shell to come in so I can redo that part. But this is like the work in progress. This is what it'll kind of look like, which isn't too bad. You'll open it up, boom, second design. Not bad, not bad. So the transparent red shell, I started painting it, and then it went horrible. And then I used acetone as paint remover, and it didn't work. Turns out that eats plastic like bad, which isn't good. That is not good at all. And here's how the current top shell I'm working on is going. Haven't peeled the tape off yet, and I do need to do one more coat of paint over it, and then I need to clear coat it. It's on a stick right now because that is just what I paint on. I don't have it like an actual stand. Okay, we peeled the top shell after doing another layer. It's not bad. I think this is the one that we'll be using. There's like a little bit of smudge here, you know. It isn't the greatest thing, but it's pretty good. It's good enough that I don't have to do another. It looks a little dark, but it'll be lighter on the DS because the back of the top screen is like a bright silver. So it'll be something like that. It'll be pretty good. You know, I think that's pretty good at least. And then on the DS, it would look sort of like this.
Wow.
Which is really nice. That's pretty good, I gotta say. And I have a top screen arriving for both the Teto DS and my Seafoam one that I've been working on. So those will come in later today, and then I gotta throw that into here, and then I can finish building this, actually, which is kind of cool. I have all the buttons and stuff, and I'll throw it up on screen. The reference that I made, I had yellow, like goldeny start and select buttons to match the rubber pads that would be over these holes, and that's sort of supposed to mimic like the buttons on her outfit for her second design, which is what the inside's going to look like. And I had forgotten to order those. But, so the inside is like a Super Famicom controller type design. It would have a different colored button for each of like A, B, X, and Y. Instead of, and I don't know why Extreme Rate does this, I'm not going to complain though, because I get a lot of free stuff. Instead of sending a different button and just one of each button, so that I get one set of buttons, they give you like 4 or 5 sets of different colored buttons, like full sets. I'm talking triggers, I'm talking everything. And then they're just like, yeah, pick out the ones you want to use, and then whatever you don't want, just set aside, I guess. And I don't know how bad that contributes to plastic waste, but I know that I'll be using them. I just kind of threw them in this little box that I put all my buttons in, but you can kind of see a bunch of differently colored ones, and that includes some yellow ones. And now I have yellow buttons, which I did put in this bag of parts. You can kind of see them rattling around in there.
Move. You died, by the way.
You died, you know.
Damn, kitty. Weave! What am I stuck on? Go, 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 go! Oh! Up the stairs, up the stairs! Please! No, no!
Yeah.
I came across your corpse!
Yeah, that was really cinematic. That was really good. Cannot lie.
Oh!